I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just kids when we...
So what a milestone this is. And ready for my siblings and I, we have no clue what 40 years is like. Dion is the oldest and he hasn't reached 40 yet. And so it's really mind-boggling to think of 40 years of marriage. And so for us who are not 40 yet, we want all of you who are 40, and that's the majority of us here, to just humor us. We're going to count to 40 together. So let's start at year 0. So we start at 0. And that brings us to August 12, 1978 in Fontebelle Kingdom Hall, Barbados. That's correct? Yes. That was the hall attached to the branch office, which is no longer in use. And many of us may have been around at that time. Some of these faces I saw in the pictures I went through. Do you remember what was the year text that year? Well, prevail against you, they will not rather prevail against you, for I, Jehovah, am with you to deliver you. So that seems to remind me of them raising us, because we did prevail, but Jehovah delivered them. Now, interesting facts about the wedding. That guy on the left-hand side there, that's Uncle Johnny. He did the wedding talk. Some 30 years later, that's him at my wedding. Take a look at his suit. He wore the same suit to my wedding. That guy there, sitting down next to Dad, happens to be Uncle Wood. Take a look at the bow tie. Really, this helped me to come to terms with the fact that it's 40 years ago. Styles have changed, the bell bottoms have gone, other things have come in. 40 years of marriage. We continue to count. Year 1, nothing eventful happened that I know of. Year 2, we have Dion. Dion was born in 1979, and they were proud parents then. Now take a look at this picture again, look at it closely. Do you notice Dad is wearing the same tie as the wedding? If Uncle Johnny was here, he would say, that's how a pioneer lives. Moving on, year 3, and you could feel free to 3, 4, 5, I come along. In August 1982. I couldn't find a baby picture. I don't know. I don't know. That's hidden. And this is a good picture actually, because in that era in our lives, I remember being with Dad on construction quite often. All the different quick builds. And I guess that's what we did. We sat down with Mom, and Dad worked hard, but he always took us along, giving us a taste for serving Jehovah in that way. Yes, and we were always matching, like if we were twins. Almost matching today too. Moving on, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, and there we are. So by this time, Dad was more into photography, so we have a lot more pictures of Danny than we have of Dion and I. And of course, Danny was, well, if you know Dad, he loves girls. So Danny is a special place in his heart. Year 9, year 10, year 11, 12, And I don't know if this was 12, but this looked like about the time, so I threw it in. Moving on, 13, 14, I assume it's around that time. Daniel looks like that age, so I assume that's when it was. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I assume again, because the picture doesn't have a date. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and Nico was born. The first and only grandchild. I don't know if Daniel have plans, but that might just stay that way. Yeah, 28, Uncle Wirt, you're not going to get me in trouble. Yeah, 28, yeah, 29, yeah, 30. And this was a picture taken at the memorial in 2008 with us as a family. 31, and we get to our wedding. Now I was trying to figure out Dad's face there. Yeah, I don't know. So could you help me decide which should I be? Mom signing me away with glee or Dad's concern? I don't know which one. Moving on, we had the International Convention. There's a picture of them then. Daryl and Mom. Year 32, 33, 34. Dad and I attended as School for Congregation Elders together. There's also a picture that I wasn't able to get because it's fused to the frame of Daniel attending Pioneer School together with Dad. So we've had that privilege of being taught by Jehovah with him in those special ways. 34, 35, and this was their anniversary in 2013. I think that was in San Rafael Community Center. And that same year, Dad took us to Guyana and settled us in our new assignment. 36, and we get to Danny's wedding. April 6, 2014. And like I said, Dad always loved girls, so this must have been a special moment for him to give away his daughter to Jonathan. And you can see the joy in his face as he walks down the aisle. Now he's smiling. Yes, but if you know Dad, you know that you don't always know what's on his mind. Keeps a straight face. 37, and this was a family dinner that we had. 38, picture of them together at the assembly hall. Them at our graduation. Year 39. I believe that's the date, right, Jonathan? I just looked at the date and assumed it was that. You don't know. Okay. The date on the picture said 2017, so I just assumed it was then. Not sure if I heard that. And this was earlier this year, coming to the end of the 39th year. And we are at 40 years. So in terms of time, 40 years is a long time. It's 480 months. So that's 480 field service reports that they put in together without stopping. It's 2,085 weeks. That's a lot of watchtower studies in the early days, and family worship now. And Mom, that's a lot of Sunday lunches. It's 14,600 days roughly, depending on how the leap years fall. And really, that's a long time. And really, like I say, we can't conceptualize that not having lived to the age of 40. I consider it to be like a whole generation. If you think about the Israelites going into the Promised Land, when they were unfaithful, Jehovah gave them 40 years. He let that generation die out. And so it's like a whole generation in my mind. So I'm sure my parents would like to thank you for the sacrifices you have made to be here this evening. Some may have taken flights, some may have put other things, other appointments off. And so we thank you for making those sacrifices. Now we gave you the house rules, but we want to give you a ground rule. This is a marriage between two different nations. Mom is Bajan, as you know. Dad is Trinidadian. So if you are served flying fish this evening, please don't ask where it came from, whether it was the Bajan waters or the Trinidad waters. Just eat the flying fish. For my siblings and I, it's a real milestone for us. We are products of this marriage. We are who we are because these two people decided to get married. And really, the genetics can't hide. I'm often told that I sound like that. I answered the phone for somebody today and they said, Clayton? I said, so that doesn't hide. You realize that Dion and I have started shopping at the same store as Dad, the one that has the shirts with the belly in it. Yeah, we're getting all close there too. The genetics doesn't hide. And Daniel has inherited the hospitable spirit that Mom has always shown over the years. For us as children, we have our own memories of the marriage, of our parents together. For me, I remember Dad dancing to Lady in Red. You may have seen him dancing earlier. You would see it a little later. But Dad, tonight you have your Lady in Red. I also remember Mom dancing on a Sunday morning in the kitchen. We would come out and that 9/7 show, Radio for Women, what it goes? I Am Woman, yes. Mom would dance to that and to other things on a Sunday morning. That's a good memory that we had. Danielle mentioned that she was always impressed that Dad was attracted to Mom in curlers. Now, there's a story behind that you would hear in a bit. So he thought that he really saw the inner person rather than what she was on the outside. And that's something that Danielle holds there. She also found that our parents had a united front in dealing with us. She reminded Dion and I of the catchphrase that Mom would use, wait until your father comes home. And so she often deferred to him in disciplining us. And sometimes we were glad for that. Dad's discipline was long and drawn out. It involved the insight and kneeling down, and Mom's discipline was quick and final. And Dion remembers on one occasion sitting with Dad under a tree in Arangwes, enjoying a roti. That's a memory that he has that stands out in his mind. So sorry that you can't eat rotis anymore. Accept our condolences. Lessons that he was taught by Dad as well is something that Dion cherishes as well, something that he mentioned. And from Mom, he said he learned that that people treat you based on how you appear to them, the way you present yourself. And he found that to be a good lesson that he learned from Mom. So let's get to the story of how they met. So Dad is in Barbados using up his free flights from BWIA. And he is driving along with Uncle Evans. So now if you know Uncle Evans, you know he's quite unpredictable. And so Uncle Evans stops to allow Mom to drive out of her driveway. And Dad just simply asks, who's that? And Uncle Evans answers, but he, of course, takes note. Now Dad, you have your chance to speak after. You'll correct me if I go wrong. Later that evening, Uncle Evans decides that he's going to hide Dad's passport. And so he hid his passport. He couldn't catch his flight to come back to Trinidad. And Uncle Evans threw what we call the Cricks and Juice party. If you know Uncle Evans, you know that it only takes one Trinidadian in Barbados for him to have a party. And so he had one of those parties. Mom was tired of all the parties and all the invitations, so she went to the party with her curlers on. And Dad saw her for what I would assume is the second time. Of course, you could correct that later if you wish. And he took a liking to her. Of course, the story goes that some other brother was trying to dance with her whole night and get her attention. And it was his granddad, Dad, that had to embolden him to take a stand. And so we are here today. And so on behalf of my siblings and I, we want to take this opportunity, Mom and Dad, to wish you a happy anniversary and to thank you for making the choice to marry each other. Because only then we would have come as children. We want to thank you for sticking it through the highs and the lows, and for maintaining your love for each other over the years. As for Gerald and I, we wish to extend special congratulations and appreciation to you for your example in applying Bible principles in your marriage and setting a standard for us too as a young married couple. We also wish to thank you for helping us to set full-time service as a goal and supporting us, well, Gerald and I, and even Daniel, as we pursue that goal, that chosen career. So in short, as children, we say, and when I say children, that includes Gerald. Mommy always says when we get there that the children reach. So that includes, as children, we wish to say to you on this occasion, congratulations. Now that's enough for me. We now would like to hear from some people who are 40 years and over. So we begin with Rosalind Wharton, mom's sister, and maybe we could follow the president that is setting weddings. So she will speak on behalf of the bride, the 40-year-old bride.
Brothers, sisters, and friends, and relatives. feel I feel honored to be given the privilege by Jehovah first and June's family to speak on behalf of my sister. The first thing I feel honored to be given the privilege by Jehovah first and June's family to speak on behalf of her. First thing, congratulations to Clayton and June on reaching this milestone. To give some background and history, there were 10 of us siblings, 7 girls and 3 boys. And June had a very special and unique place in the family after our father died. At a young age, she became a partner to my mother as she continued to raise the younger ones. There were 5 of them. At that time, our mother was not a witness, and at 18 years old, June fiercely defended the truth in that house. She was once sent a gift by what we call a respectable young man, but he was not a witness, and she returned it forthwith, not even opening that gift. We never knew what was in it. Over the years, we have had some things in common. Although she is 4 years my junior, we were baptized together on November 8, 1969. We attended the same school, and we both became head girls. We both married brothers who knew the truth before us, as they were from witness families. And I attribute our steadfastness in the truth partly due to the support of our husbands. If I could use one word to describe June, it is compassionate. That word encompasses love and consistency. You can always rely on her to assist when there is a need. Trinidad has far more materially than Barbados, and we have had to June many times and purchase items for us. She always from Barbados, Brother Elkanah Gibson. I told him I was coming here to June's 40th anniversary, and he asked me to convey his greetings because when he was here with his son, who was ill so much, she was so kind. And another sister, Maggie Morgan, asked me to convey her greetings too, saying that she remembered the dress she wore to your wedding. I am happy that June met Clayton in Barbados 40 plus years ago, and we can say that the rest is history. It is noteworthy that she did not go looking for him. He came visiting his uncle's home nearby, and we could safely now apply the scripture at Proverbs 18:22. The one who finds a good wife has found something good, and he receives Jehovah's favor. Clayton, do you concur? Like I said before, there were 10 of us. 2 have died, Eugene and Wallace. And as I speak, Jehovah knows my heart yearns to see them again, along with our parents and so many others who would otherwise be here. So those who are here, it is a resounding victory and privilege to celebrate 40 years of marriage with family and friends. June and Clayton are an outstanding example of what unity can do and what the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 4:12, and I quote, "And someone may overpower one alone, but 2 together can take a stand against him, and a threefold cord cannot quickly be torn apart." Congratulations, June and Clayton. Continue to keep the third strand, Jehovah, in place in your lives. On behalf of the entire family, my family and our siblings, we wish you and Clayton not just many more years in the school system, but that you and your family may be blessed with everlasting life in God's righteous new order near at hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Rosie, for those heartfelt and well-chosen words. We really appreciate it. We were concerned about whether you would break down, but you did well. You did well. Very good. So now we have to get someone to speak on behalf of the groom, the 40-year-old groom. And that would be the person of Wirt Santana. Like you can tell, he was the best man with the best bow tie. And so we feel that he is authorized to speak on behalf of the groom. Uncle Wirt, we await you.
In his book, A Lawyer Examines the Bible, the lawyer Erwin Linton points to the way God created man and woman as proof that man was not a product of blind evolution. He wrote, and I quote, "The kindness and infinite skill of the God who declared it was not good for a man to be a bachelor, in putting into man's heart the love of woman and into woman's heart the love of man, in making them mentally, physically, and emotionally so alike as to be companionable, and yet so unlike as to supplement and be intriguing to each other, has always stirred my gratitude and my admiration as an unequivocal evidence of creative design. And the peace and happiness growing out of the marital relation when God is in it has given some idea of the skillful power of God to bring happiness into being. I thought that was such a profound observation by this lawyer, who in examining the scriptures came to the realization of so many different things that point to God's word as being the word of God, that the Bible is the word of God. And this one so fits what we see here in the relationship between June and Clayton. Anyone who has observed the interaction between Clayton and June cannot help but be encouraged at the loving interaction between the two. As Linton expressed, this institution has given us clear evidence of a magnificent and wise God who has revealed to humankind his glorious name, Jehovah. In this union of man and woman, we find all the various kinds of love that can be expressed. The Greek language has 4 different words for love, the English word love. There's the principled or agape love. Then there's the natural affection between close relatives that we know as storge from the Greek. Then there's the affection between friends or philia. And last, and certainly least, romantic love or eros, which is the easiest to lose and fade, and yet is the most widely promulgated in the world today. Seldom, very seldom, have I witnessed romantic love between Clayton and June, and maybe that's good. Yet repeatedly, I have witnessed the other 3 manifestations of love: principled, affectionate, and family love. This 40th anniversary celebration should help us to realize that each of us should give more attention to these 3 aspects of love over the in-your-face romantic love that quickly fades. Again, we give all praise to the God who created all these aspects of love. I cannot say much about June, since I have had little interaction with her, only during the few visits that I've had when visiting Trinidad. Even with regard to Clayton, much of what I can say has to do with what I have observed during my visits to Trinidad and Tobago. However, what I remember from the days when we were growing up is his having loving and well-developed personality. I remember how Clayton would have a little diary or notebook from which he would operate. He would carefully examine and document the various activities that he would get involved in. He would research and draw conclusions from his research and then act on these well-formed conclusions. For example, with regard to becoming one of Jehovah's Witnesses, our parents were Jehovah's Witnesses. Nevertheless, Clayton took the time to research the various religions: Roman Catholicism, Anglican, Pentecostal, Seventh-day Muslim, etc., etc. After researching these, he made his dedication to be a witness of Jehovah, and has thereafter devoted the rest of his life trying to help others to benefit from this, what he found in his research. Whether it had to do with religion, financial matters, medical, or otherwise, Clay does the needed research before jumping in willy-nilly, like so many others do. In this regard, he has proven to be an example even for many Jehovah's Witnesses who have grown up in Jehovah's Witness families. You young ones, do the needed research so that you know for certainty that the beliefs espoused by Jehovah's Witnesses represent the truth. Do not simply fall back on what mom and dad says, not doing the needed research. You would be just like most other religious people, whether Catholics or Hindus or Muslims, Buddhists, whatever. Most people are of that religion because their mom and dad were of that religion. do the research because it means your life. Another aspect of Clay's personality is his ability to encapsulate his points of discussion into a simple illustration. I remember as a young adult saying to myself years and years ago that when I grow up as a public speaker, I want to be able to develop illustrations as easily as he did. In his interaction with his children, I have witnessed how he would patiently listen to them, even when at times it seems like they lack a measure of respect. Not flagrant, mind you, but nonetheless somewhat difficult for maybe an adult to take. He would then question them in such a way that would lead most logical and open-minded individuals to the conclusion that he was attempting to espouse. I'm not sure that I ever witnessed him losing his temper. He has always sought to draw the other party with whom he was attempting to persuade rather than push them into changing their mind. In a lifetime, time and again, we are dealt a lousy hand. Regardless of whatever hand we are dealt, we are required to play it in such a way so as to win without cheating. And if we were to lose, that we can walk away with our heads held high, dignified, spiritually and morally chaste, gaining lessons we can learn from and that we can use to help others. In this regard, I could say that Clayton and June have proven to be good examples. One does not arrive at their age without being knocked upside the head sometime or other. Although Clayton has never discussed with me, as far as I can remember, an untoward situation that he had to face, some did come up in my observation. In his and June's treatment of individuals that may have caused them great heartache, from my observation, they followed the example as set by our Lord Jesus. The Apostle Peter said in first letter, chapter 2, that when he, Jesus, was suffering, he did not threaten, but he entrusted himself to the one who judges righteously. I cannot remember Clay putting anyone in a negative light. All I can call to mind are positive expressions regarding the sister and her dogged service toward Jehovah or other humans. A brother's argument that gave him insight into presentation that debunked a false doctrine. A child's statement that showed an insight into sound logical thinking. These were lessons that I took to heart as I watched their interaction with others. They always put relationships ahead of themselves and material things. So my dear brother, my dear sister, I say to continue to set this sterling example that you've been setting. To continue to keep Jehovah and his son as the centerpiece in your marriage. Keep dealing with others as you have been dealing with them. A million years from now, a billion years from now, you're going to look back. And despite the pressures and the problems that we all face in this whole system of things, you're going to be smiling, thankful to God, to that great potter that has been molding you. We love you. Charmin and I want to express our congratulations for this, your 40th anniversary. And we pray that you will continue to enjoy many, many more years of marital bliss.
It's actually interesting getting some insight from these pictures as to how we were brought up. Auntie Rosie mentioned that mom helped to bring up her siblings, and so she had an unfair start on us when we were born. We couldn't get anything past her. She already had years of experience with the 5 children that she helped to bring up. Oftentimes our uncles would tell us, they say, you don't know your mother, you know. Don't play with your mother. Yeah. And with that, it's interesting, the same sort of organizational approach to life we have inherited from him as well. So we are learning as we go as well. So I think we have it sorted out. Simone joins us again, and we will pay attention to her song.
Longer than there have been fishes in the ocean, higher than any bird ever flew, longer than there have been stars up in the heavens. I've been in love with you. Stronger than any mountain cathedral, truer than any tree ever grew, deeper than any forest primeval. I am in love with you. I bring fire in the winter, you send showers in the springs, live life through the falls and summers, love on our wings. Through the years, as the fire starts to mellow, burning lights in the book of our lives, though the binding cracks and the pages start to yellow, I'll be in love with you. I'll be in love with you. Longer than there have been fishes in the ocean, higher than any bird ever flew, longer than there have been stars up in the heavens. I've been in love with you. I am in love with you. Oh, happy anniversary.
All right, so we continue with this mic for now as we try to get this one sorted out. So we move on to our next song by the only son-in-law in our family. Mom and dad only had one daughter, so this is the only son-in-law in our family. So please give a warm welcome to Jonathan.
So this song, I was by Danielle, is one of their favorite songs. My parents-in-law, through the years by Kenny Rogers, uh, we, as a family, as my family, my father and I, even my aunt is here, we karaoke, right? So after that performance, I would sing like an amateur, but the feeling and the sentiments in the song is what all of us as siblings and products of this union, because even my union is a product of it, and they're a good example, an excellent example for us, and they have raised wonderful children and my beautiful wife. So we want to dedicate this song to you all through the years. I can't remember when you weren't there, when I didn't care for anyone but you. I swear we've been through everything there is. Can't imagine anything we missed. Can't imagine anything the two of us can do through the years. You never let me down. You've turned my life around. The sweetest days I've found with you through the years. Better every day. Away. Stay right here with you through the years. Very good. I can't remember what I used to do, who trusted, who I listened to before. I swear you've taught me everything I know. Read and so, but through the years it seems more and more. Through the years and bad, how much we had been through. Yes, it's better every day. You've kissed my tears away. As long as it's okay, I'll stay with you through the years. Through the years, when everything went wrong, together we were strong. I belong right here. Through the years, I never had a doubt. We'd always work things out. I've learned what love's about by loving you through the years. Never let me down. You've turned my life around. The sweetest days I've found with through the years. It's better every day. You kiss my tears away. As long as it's okay, I'll stay with you through the years.
So that's Jonathan Joseph, the only son-in-law in the family. Jonathan, thanks for keeping it going through the song. We appreciated that. And really, that was intentional. Jonathan didn't know all that they went through the years, so he left the words out so that we would know, they would fill it in. They know what it was. Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan. Well thought out. All right, and now we go on to, but I often say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You ever heard that saying? Well, now Jonathan's dad is going to show Jonathan how it's done. So we invite Ken Joseph, and he would introduce his song as well.
So I'm just going to try to come a little this side because the mic is kind of malfunctioning. But this is also a song by Kenny Rogers, and it seems to express, I think, how they feel about each other through the years. I know the last time we celebrated the anniversary, Clayton actually sang this song to June, and we sang it together, remember? It's by Daniel and I. Yeah, right, and yeah. So I don't know if you want to give him a mic so he can sing along with me. I don't know.
Testing 1, 2. The mic is working, huh? It's working.
Yeah. All right, this song is You Decorated My Life, and I think we all could share in singing the song to them. The sentiments, as Jonathan mentioned, the sentiment certainly does express how they might be thinking, how they might feel about each other. I'm 100% sure about that. So let's have the music. All my life was a paper, once plain, pure and white, till you move with your pen, changing moods now and then, till the balance was right. Then you added some music, every note was in play, and anybody could see all the changes in me by the look on my face. And you decorated my life, created a world where dreams are apart, and you decorated my life by painting your love all over my heart. You decorated my life. Feel free to sing. Like a rhyme with no reason in an unfinished song. There's no harmony, life meant nothing to me until you came along. And you other color, what a gentle surprise. Now I'm able to see all the things life can be, shining soft in your eyes. worlds are apart, and you decorated my life by painting your love all over my heart. You decorated. Congratulations.
So, Jonathan, that's how we do it. But I won't blame you. Really, that song was written before you were born. You see? Yeah, he knew it a long time. That's all. Yes. So, we're moving along. We want to share this time some greetings. And really, we should acknowledge some who have made some efforts, some incredible efforts to be here. We can call that the Abraham table across there. They have come from the States to be here with us. We have Uncle Wirt and Auntie Charmaine who have made a similar trip. We have the Barbados group here, moms, sisters, and their children and grandchildren. And I'm sure I'm missing others, but the fact is we really appreciate all of the... Yes, Lena Caglin is somewhere here as well. I haven't seen her in years, that's why I didn't go. Mom studied with her and she went to St. Lucia and brought up her children in the truth. Welcome, Auntie Lena. Yes. So we appreciate all of these sacrifices that you have made to be here. There were others who would have liked to be here, but their circumstances did not permit. We have a few that we like to just share their greetings with you. Danny, you wish to begin? So we start with Danielle. She would share some greetings from Auntie Gino.
Pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to read it just as it is, right? My story of June and Clayton. It begins, I am extremely sorry that I am missing the celebration. I planned to be here from the time I heard about it. But as we know, time and unforeseen circumstances befalls us all, and regrettably, I am absent. However, I am sending this message in case there's an opportunity for it to be read on my behalf. For those of you who don't know, June is my cousin, and we are about the same age, but she feels like my sister. We went to the same primary school and the same high school, not by design, but as it turned out that way. We knew each other as cousins, but when we became very close was when we became sisters. Now I can truly say that she is one of my best friends. I was somewhat protective of her when it came to suitors. As you can imagine, there were quite a few trying to get her attention. I would always check them out and give her my best and honest opinion whether she asked for it or not, why she should not give them the time of day. After I migrated to the United States of America, we kept in touch. Then one day, she wrote me, and for those of you under 30, yes, people still wrote letters in those days, and said that she met her brother and she thinks that there may be something going on. She was not willing to tell me who it was because she was not sure that the relationship would go anywhere. I wrote her back and asked if the person was, perchance, Clayton Santana. She wrote me back in shock. wondering how I knew him and how I knew that it was him she was talking about. Coincidentally, I had met Clay about 2 weeks prior when he visited his brother who was in the same congregation as me in the United States. We didn't speak much, and I had no idea that they had ever met. But somehow, when June told me that she had met her brother, he immediately came to mind. Perhaps in the back of my mind, I knew that their personalities was met. So was I right or was I right? Now, I would like to dedicate to them the following verses of a poem I wrote a long time ago called True Love. True love is like an oyster that turns sands into pearls. It takes that irritation and time again deposits a secretion that turns that little grain of sand into a precious gem. Love is long-suffering. Love is kind. It knows no bounds. It knows no time. But only love that has been built on fear of God can thus survive against all odds, because he gives strength to conquer all if trust remains in him.
Thanks, Danny, for conveying those greetings for us. And please tell Auntie Gina thanks for us for sending those greetings. So Auntie Dolly sends these greetings. To June and Clayton, I had no doubt that your marriage would have lasted 40 years. For June had the recipe for a great marriage. The recipe of love, patience, kindness, respect, trust, teamwork, prayer, and faith in Jehovah. I am sure that my sister will continue to use this recipe, and she and Clayton will enjoy many, many, many more anniversaries. I am so sorry that I could not make it to the celebrations, but I promise to be there for the 50th. And that required some impact. Wishing you both all of Jehovah's blessings. Love always, Barbara, John, Tanya, and Janine. Have a wonderful evening. Now, one of the marks of, I think, the 40 years of our parents' marriage is the persons that they have helped over the years. Countless persons have passed through the house, much to our benefit as children. We learned how to help people. We learned various personalities and how to work with them. One such person would like to share some greetings next, and that's Judy Davenport. Judy was like a big sister to us growing up. She spent a lot of time in our house, shoo-shooing with Mom. And now she is happily married and has a son who is just as tall as his father. And she would like to share her greetings on this occasion.
We want to wish you happy 40th anniversary and all the best. If you can't remember, my name is Ronald Birch.
I'm Judy Davin. Oh, come on. You all know me. Congratulations on your 40th anniversary. And really thank Jehovah that, you all set a fine example. And we hope that we can do just as good as you.
Right. This as well, and wishing you all the best. And congratulations.
All right. Have a good time.
Clayton, please enjoy your 40th anniversary. You're shaking with it. All the best.
Didn't you learn about that?
Hello, good afternoon, Brother Santana and Sister Santana. We just want to congratulate you on your 40th wedding anniversary. We're so happy for you. We know that's a long time. We don't know of any marriages that last that long, but we know that it's because of Jehovah, and by sticking to his standards, you have now celebrating your 40th wedding anniversary. So we're very happy for you too.
So we want to take this time now to congratulate you. We are not married yet, but we're hoping that one day we can be like you guys, celebrating wedding anniversary maybe in the new world for when the years go by forever. So congratulations.
Yeah, we're happy for you. Take care.
Hi, Clayton and June. Monica and I wish to congratulate you both for having achieved a milestone in this system that has witnessed the demise of moral values. I'll adjust the words of Ecclesiastes this way. We recommend rejoicing because there is nothing better for a man and a woman under the sun than to eat and to drink and rejoice. They should accompany them as they work hard during the days of their life, which the true God gives them under the sun. This is so true when surrounded by friends and family. We're very sorry that we cannot be with you for this 40th anniversary, but we sincerely wish you both Jehovah's continued blessing as we look forward to a bright future that we are hoping to come soon in God's new system. Have a good time, guys, and enjoy yourselves. We look forward to seeing you in January. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The rest of the greetings are via notes. We looked at Auntie Dolly's already. Fitz and Pat Agard said this: it's amazing. It's just simply amazing. 40 years have passed already, and here you are looking sharp. You know how she knew. We just know that you both must look your Sunday best. This is certainly a time to celebrate. We wanted so much to be there in person, but because we can realistically hope that very soon you can look forward to countless anniversaries in a new world, we are content with sending our heartfelt congratulations at this time. You are a truly wonderful couple and a sterling example. Clayton and June, we love you both so very much, and we pray that Jehovah's blessings continue with you for many, many more years. We wish for you what we wish for ourselves: an eternity together in perfection. Other greetings come from Auntie Lystra Alexander. She's been a friend of the family. In fact, it's the only licking I have ever gotten, other than my parents, was from her. And she sends anniversary greetings. She says, congratulations to a great couple, Clayton and June, whom I have known for the past 37 years. I still have good memories of my study of the Bible with Clayton with such clarity, and one could easily sense his love for Jehovah. June was a perfect complement to Clayton as a faithful servant of Jehovah and an industrious woman. My friendship with them is one of my best friendships in the truth. As a result, they set a fine example of putting spiritual matters first in life, with weekly family study, meeting attendance, and a great zeal for the field ministry. Clayton is a good husband, took good care of his family and the congregation for many years, and despite all his responsibilities over the years, Jehovah remains the most important person in his life. June and I have vacationed together many times, and though some may find her direct and straightforward, I have always found her fun to spend time with. They have raised 3 fine children, Dion, Davon, and Daniel, each with their own lovable qualities. I am now getting to know their grandson, Nicolo, their pride and joy at present. Thanks to Jehovah for those 40 years together in marriage. And may you all continue to have many more, perhaps even eternity. And our final in this list is from Jimmy and Andrea Mills, Dad's cousin and his wife. And they say, "Hi Clayton and June. Andrea and I wanted to reach out to you on this momentous occasion to congratulate and thank you. We congratulate you for achieving this milestone in your relationship together. We thank you for being a role model for so many of us younger couples of how to do things Jehovah's way. Thanks also for your love and friendship. We love you both. Enjoy your celebrations this evening. Always, Jimmy and Andrea." There were many others who would have liked to send their greetings as well, and it's understood that they have. The time won't allow us to go into all of them. We now would like to conclude this part of the program with a poem from Nicolo Santana, also known as the only grandchild. Nicolo?
Memories by Nicolo Santana. 40 years you've been together. Treasure well these memories forever. As you continue on this joyful endeavor, overcoming obstacles and conquering fears, remember the good times, laughter and tears. These are your memories, more precious than gold. This is your story, let it be told.
Now, as you go to our wedding, you have someone who speaks on behalf of the bride. We had that. Someone who speaks on behalf of the groom. We had that. And one of the moments that we look forward to is when the groom stands up and says, "On behalf of my wife and I." And so, on behalf of my wife of 40 years and I, we invite Clayton Santana.
I'm going to try and change that up a little bit. Instead of saying on behalf of my wife and I'll say on behalf of me and my wife. Anyway, it's good to be here. All the sentiments, it's very heartrending. It's emotionally, it's very emotional for me now. I'm not normally a very emotional person. I want to thank those who come from far, those who came from the States, from St. Lucia, Barbados. I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank all those who worked hard to make this a special occasion. I think earlier today I was saying to my sister-in-law, I'm not a person who likes too much of occasions, and I'm not feeling it. And she said to me, "You're going to feel it later today." I especially was very, very moved by my children's enthusiasm for this event. All the things on the table, I want to thank my daughter for what she did. All the preparation, the picture that's out there. I want to thank my two sons that helped. And it was, you know, it was like if it was their anniversary. It was very special for them. And I want to thank my wife. This whole event is her idea. She is, according to my second son, Devan, called earlier today on the phone. He says, "I want to speak to the chief cook and bottle washer." the lady of the moment. And I'm not going to be long because we know we've had a lot of speeches and so. But I just want to share something with you. I was trying to get a surprise gift for my wife. So I'm wondering, what could I get her? So the story is, I have a cousin down in the back. His name is Selby. When we first got married, my wife and I worked at the airport and I wanted to get her some flowers. So Selby suggested I go to a flower shop in Tunapuno. So I went to the flower shop to get flowers, but as it turned out, that flower shop didn't have flowers. It had to get from another location. So I had to wait. I went up by my cousin's home on the top of Asonville Road, come back down a couple of times. Eventually I got the flowers and I got home. And in those days was the days of telco poops, no telephone contact. And my wife said, where you was? She didn't see a flower. And the flowers didn't help. Flowers didn't help. I learned that she finds that flowers fade. So what do I get my wife? So I was talking to my daughter, and I decided to get her a gift. And one of her friends from the States was supposed to bring it. And I'm there looking at this thing on the screen on a laptop, I think it was. No, it was a tablet. And my wife was there, and she said, what's that you're looking at? I says, nothing. She said, what is that you're looking at? So I said, it's just something. Then she asked the question again. I said, it was supposed to be a surprise gift. I have it. So, I showed it to her. And I was talking to my son earlier this afternoon. I said, boy, I don't know what to do, boy. Because I'm trying to get a surprise gift for Mommy. He said, after 40 years, you still trying to surprise her? He said, you know that can't work. Anyway, it's a ruby ring. And because it tell me 40 years is ruby. So I'm going to quietly walk across, give it to her. She can decide to put it on her hand, or she can decide what she wants to do with it. We're not asking Joel for any recommendations. All right, anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. And I think it's really a very moving celebration. Everything is so beautifully decorated. Everything was so beautifully done. It makes me proud. Thanks a lot.
So that was our groom of 40 years. In case you couldn't see it where you were from, she had a ring on that finger. It's not there anymore. That one went in the box. The new one is on. Yes. So that, thanks for sharing those sentiments with us. And really thanks for making a success of your marriage so that we can have such a fine occasion. So we've had the speeches on behalf of the bride, on behalf of the groom. We've had on behalf of my wife of 40 years and I. And so we must be very hungry. So we're going to pause now for us to have the dinner. And then something is missing from this wedding celebration. And that is the first dance. So after we've had our dinner, we're going to have that first dance. I will open up the dance floor and we'll continue for the rest of our evening.
Looks like